A robot on Mars found signs of life, and nobody could agree it happened. In 1976, NASA's Viking 1 lander touched down on the red planet and ran an experiment that appeared to detect living organisms in the soil. Scientists are still arguing about what it actually found, decades later. Viking 1 was originally meant to land on July 4, 1976, America's 200th birthday. But orbital photos showed the chosen site was too rocky, so NASA delayed 16 days, and it touched down instead on the 7th anniversary of the Apollo 11 moon landing. Within minutes of landing at a place called Chryse Planitia, Viking sent back the very first photograph ever taken from the surface of Mars, an image of its own footpad, resting in red dust. A full-color picture of the landscape followed just 1 day later. 10 days later, Viking's onboard biology lab ran a test called the labeled release experiment, designed by scientist Gilbert Levin. It mixed Martian soil with a nutrient solution, and the readings came back positive, exactly the kind of signal you would expect from living microorganisms. Most scientists eventually concluded the result came from strange inorganic soil chemistry, not biology, and NASA's official position today is that there is no definitive evidence of life. But not everyone agreed, and one key member of the team never accepted that explanation for the rest of his life. Gilbert Levin, the scientist who designed that experiment, spent the rest of his career insisting Viking really had found life on Mars. He kept making that case publicly right up until he died in 2021, still convinced the evidence had been sitting there, unrecognized, for over 4 decades. Whatever it actually detected, Viking 1 kept working on the Martian surface for more than 6 years, over 2,000 Martian days, the longest surface mission on another world for over 3 decades, until NASA's Opportunity rover finally broke that record in 2010. A robot on Mars really did find something that looked exactly like a sign of life, and nobody has ever fully agreed on what it means. Half a century later, the soil samples are still sitting in storage, and the argument that scientists never let go of is still completely unresolved.